CATIA 3D experience. Let's take a look at the following case study. So one of the car is modeled, the other one has been generated using generative AI. Now, just by taking a look at the car, you're gonna see the one over here, and the second one will have various geometry imperfections. In this case, this will be the generative AI generated car, and this will be the one modeled. If I will jump over here within Vizcom, you're gonna see that there's also an additional problem. So if I will further make this a little bit larger, as you can see, this has been generated using a single image. And in this case, it added an additional tire over here. If I will leave that workbench, and if I'm gonna jump over here, this will be the second attempt. And in this case, we're gonna see that it will not create an additional wheel. But overall, the mesh geometry will look like this. I also have them loaded over here within Blender. So this will be the one modeled. As you can see, it will have a lot of details. If I'm gonna change the smoothing to auto smooth, it will look like this. This will be the first one generated using Vizcom, and we can already see that the mesh has many imperfections. It also has that additional wheel that we can easily delete. So I can select by loose parts and I can have that deleted. It's not a big deal. Still, considering that this was generated using a single image input, this is more decent as an overall, let's say, overview of the proportion of the car. Even though if I will jump over here to the side view, we're going to see those proportions are a little bit different than the reference one. And this one as well has been generated using Vizcom. If I'm going to swap the shading to be shade smooth, the model will look like this. Now, what is interesting within CATIA is the fact that if you're going to have within the same scene multiple objects, the background will be automatically calibrated for all of those. As you can see over here, we have the modeled car, we have the generative AI one, and over here we have the secondary one for which we had an additional wheel added. And as soon as I'm going to display that, we're going to see that the ground floor will now match the lowest part of our model. In this case, that newly attached wheel. So this is quite interesting how the environment over here within Ambience from CATIA will automatically resize. If I'm going to zoom out, we're going to see that this will actually be a dome. So it will be mapped, let's say, onto a sphere over here. We have the ground floor and we have the background. And also within the exterior background, we're going to have an additional one. We can also have this set up within Blender. And I have some videos regarding this, if you are interested in how you can calibrate the environment to fit the model. Because as you can see over here, the environment is quite large considering the size of the car. As you can see, those will be the doors, and the car are quite small over here. So if I'm going to zoom out, they will look a little bit better. But overall, this is not at the correct scale. We can also right click and go within Ambience, and we can change over here from basic, which will be this one. If I'm going to zoom in and out, I'm not going to have an additional background. We're going to have outdoor, which in this case, again, it will not have that dome added. It will just be a large environment with a ground floor and a ground sky over here. If I will hide the second one, both of those two additional cars will be properly grounded to the floor. And we're going to see how that shadow will look. If I will swap to road, we're going to see in this case, the road will be again mapped on a dome and the car will not be at scale. So we will have to scale those because they will look quite tiny. We can also change the city, which will be similar to this one. It's just a different HDRI map that is being used over here. And we can also go to indoor, which was the one that I previously shown. We can go to dark design. And again, this will only have a background. If I will re-enable this, the shadows will not be casted. So as you can see within this one, it will be the same within blue design and also white design. And if you want additional shadows and reflections, we can go for this dark review. As you can see, it will add some lights and also a ground floor where those shadows will be defined. We can also enable dark mirror, which will make the ground like this, so it will be a reflective background. We can go within Studio, so we're gonna have a little bit of the reflection and also that shadow casted, or we can go to pure white, which is the default one. Okay, so I'm really curious, what is your opinion regarding this? How is the model generated by Vizcom compared to the one model? As you can see, if I will be quite zoom far from that, it will be decent. It's not at the same proportions, but overall, considering that this was generated using a single image, it's quite impressive. Okay, so if you enjoyed this kind of content, feel free to check the video that will be listed over here on the left side, and I will also add a subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.